For Pete's sake, have a cigar! Today, For Pete's Sake, Have a Cigar presents Experiments with Pete. Today's experiment involves the delicious Green Mountain Breakfast Blend Coffee. Today's pairing is a Macanudo knockoff.
Good morning, YouTube and fellow cigar lovers. For Pete's sake, have a cigar here. Just having some morning coffee right now. And I'm having the Green Mountain Breakfast Blend. Super good coffee. I go back and forth whether I like my coffees a little darker or a little bit more neutral, and the Green Mountain blends are definitely more neutral. I want to do another series on my cigar experiments. And today I'm going to be lighting up this Macanudo knockoff. It's a nice, I would say more neutral cigar for this experiment. So what I want to do is, just like in the Jack Daniels experiment, I'm going to light this up and we are going to blow some of it into the coffee and see what kind of changes we can get in there, whether it's good, bad, something you might like, something you might not like. But anyways, I want to do with a nice neutral cup of coffee. Whatever you like. It might go better with some espresso or a darker roast. It's all up to you. So without further ado, let's cut the Macanudo up and light it up. I got this Macanudo knockoff off of Cigar Bid. I really like getting most of my cigars off there. If you get lucky at certain times, cigars can be heavily discounted on there. You can get lucky and get cigars for about half off of what they normally are. It's a great site to be on. Let's light this thing up. Nothing like a Macanudo knockoff early in the morning. It is a great blend. There's something about Macanudos that really is a pleasure for me. They have a taste on them I can't really pinpoint. It's not something that my palate would be able to identify with because it's really specific to Macanudo. And even when people try to copy it, there is a zing in there that I can't quite put my finger on that's really enjoyable. For me, coffee and cigars go hand in hand. I prefer to like that better even than liquor. Once in a while I'll have some liquor. I find that when you have liquor like a vodka or a bourbon or whatever you might want to have, I find that the cap actually gets kind of bitter for me, and to me that's not enjoyable. I mean, I have to almost rinse my mouth out with water and then take a puff from the cigar, and by that time the liquor is already well out of my mouth and not even really worth pairing with the cigar. So now that we've gotten down on this Macanudo just a little bit and we're into the flavors as they're going to be for about the rest of the cigar, let's get into our experiment with coffee. I have two mugs here. I'm going to keep the original in my Jim Beam mug, and we'll do our test in the brown mug. Without further ado, let's get started. So for this, since the coffee tends to be a little bit on the warm side and I really don't want to burn my lips this morning, I'm going to use the straw method to inject the smoke down into the coffee. And so here we go. So far so good. I'm going to give this a little test sip to see that we don't overdo it, and we'll go from there. can't taste too much of it yet, so let's do a couple more draws into here. I can tell not having any alcohol content in here is actually hindering the spread of the smoke throughout the liquid, so let's try a couple more draws and go from there. Something else that I was contemplating that I thought would be a really cool idea is to actually smoke infuse the coffee beans before you even brew it. Maybe put it in like a Tupperware jar and then just blow as much smoke in there as you could and seal it up and let it sit for a while. That might be an option. I don't know yet. Like I said, this is my first attempt at this, so we're doing it together. Let's try another couple draws and then we'll test it out. Key for me is to blow the smoke down in here slowly so it has more time to mix with the coffee. I think in the alcohol like Jack Daniels, somehow the alcohol just churns everything up. I think it's just more soluble with the smoke. I don't know. That's just my guess. Let's do one more draw and then we'll do a side-by-side comparison. So our palate is nice and cleansed. I'm going to take a little sip of water first and then we'll try a side-by-side comparison. First off, let's try some coffee from the Jim Beam glass. It's very neutral, not a whole lot of taste. It's not very acidic or skunky, so it's very easy on the palate. That is number one. And now we'll call it our Maca Cafe blend. It's very interesting actually. I think I just found a way to turn regular coffee into kind of espresso. I kid you not. The more puffs you put in there, the more it literally tastes like espresso. Not tasting any ashiness in there, and it literally tastes like that skunkiness that's in espresso. It's actually really good. I'm gonna put a couple more draws in this and see if it gets better or worse, because I think 5 to 6 nice slow draws in there is the key to this, and it's pretty freaking awesome. I like it. Having said all that, I don't really know what this would do to espresso. It may turn it sour, it may get too skunky. I think going with a nice neutral blend and revving it up to where you like it, I think that would be key, and that would be the perfect pairing for your cigar. So now that I've done all that, I want to do another side-by-side comparison to see where we're at. Wash out with water real quick. Here's the original Jim Beam. The funny thing is, now that I've done that to our test cup, the Jim Beam, the first one I just did, it is actually starting to taste like water compared to what this is, but this is good. So let me try this one more time. I am hoping that I haven't overdone it. We'll see. I have not. This is this could be kind of a groundbreaking thing for me. It literally tastes like espresso in a really good way. I wouldn't be at all surprised if this is how people make espresso. I don't know. I would try it out. This is actually beats the socks off of the Jack Daniels experiment that I did earlier. This is awesome. I would try this. This is a full 10-star, 5 thumbs up, whatever you want to call it, from For Pete's Sake Have a Cigar. Highly recommended. I'm doing a Macanudo knockoff. I would pick this one preferably. I don't know, I'll have to do some other ones in the future, and we'll try different coffee blends and see where we go from there. But once again, this gets my seal of approval, and I highly recommend that you try this. This is great. So now that we've gotten through our experiment, before I end this video, I wanted to talk about what I'm doing later today with my neighbor Tom. Right behind me up here, hanging up in that wooden box. Let me get it down first. This is by Puros Indios Cigars. It comes in this beautiful wooden case. It is the Grand Victoria size, and what I read online is that it is a 10-inch by 60 ring gauge, but it's not 60 ring gauge all the way through. So you just slide off this wooden top. And inside lays the beauty. Look at this thing. It's ridiculous. So I would say right here is where the 60 ring gauge is, and it works its way down to probably at the very end maybe a Corona, but it's more like a Toro. If you start right about here, that's about a Toro. So you're going from about a Gordo down to a Toro, or a 60 ring gauge down to about a 54 in my opinion, and it's a full 10 inches long. I suspect this is going to be about a 3-hour cigar, so in my next video I will show you how Tom and I smoke this cigar. And I don't really remember what the binder and the fillers are, but anyways, this is my absolute first Puros Indios cigar, and we'll go through it together and we'll see how it is. Thank you for joining me for my cigar experiment with the coffee and the Macanudo knockoff. I'm going to continue enjoying this cup of coffee because it is by far super good. I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys try out this experiment. It blew my socks off when I tried this. Highly recommended. I'll catch you guys later.
Thanks for watching, and for Pete's sake, have a cigar. Push subscribe if you want to see more. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up. If it sucked, give us a big thumbs down. We'll see you next time.